G'day invaders and welcome to Since Spacies, and this is something a little different. I seem to start every video with that little sign in. This is my first podcast that I'm hosting on the channel. Yes, another bloody gaming podcast. That's not me just cursing, that's what it's called. Yes, another bloody gaming podcast. And for my first guest, I have Wacko Jacko Gaming from Melbourne.
Yes, how you going,
Not
Ryan?
too foul myself. And
That's good.
I'm from Sydney, Australia. If you haven't already joined up with my channel, please subscribe because I plan to do these once a month. And what I'm going to do is just hope to do these once a month and get guests in just to discuss current events with video gaming and maybe just get a few things off our chest. But this one's not going to be too controversial or topical. It's just going to be an introduction, anything else. But first of all, I'd like to introduce once again Wacko Jacko Gaming. Just tell us a little bit about your channel and about yourself.
Oh, well, thank you, Brian. Yes, about myself. I'm very quirky. A very unique style of person with my sense of humour. As you may already know yourself, Brian.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I'm very out there. I think I get it from my mother. Yeah, I'm very loud. Not willing to hold back anything. Just, very instantaneous and random.
This is not Oprah. Probably... You don't have to go too deep in
No, that's right.
Because this is a new thing that I'm doing on the channel, I'm going to be any new guests that I haven't had already on the channel in the podcast, I'm going to be asking them 3 set questions. Because it's the first time that I've hosted a podcast, I'm going to be asking myself first. So my first console and game with that console was the Sega SC3000 computer, bought in 1986. That really dates myself there. I bought it from Miranda, Big W, for anyone in Sydney, you'd know. And the first game that I got with that was Packer or Pacer. Basically, it's Pac-Man with a car. And you...
Wow, original.
Yeah, and the quirky thing with that is that when you reverse, you can't reverse quickly. You have to slowly reverse to change directions. So it added a little element of, a different type of gameplay there. So that's my first question I'll be asking every guest. The second question is, favorite game of all time?
That's a doozy. It's a doozy.
I would have to say, for most amount of hours played, Halo 3.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
Halo 3, everyone was expecting me to say Sonic, but
yeah, I was.
Halo 3 just really did eat up a lot of my time video game-wise. So, and I'm sure that there's quite a few out there that would probably be in the same camp. And what I'm currently playing, this is the third question I'll be asking people. Currently playing Yakuza 0 on PlayStation 4. It is awesome. It is tacky. It is big. It is humongous. And a bonus for me is that it was set in Osaka, and I actually got to walk and run amok in the same location as the game setting. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
So it's the second time I've made, third time if you count Project Off Racing 2, which was based in Sydney.
Okay, cool. Nice.
So, Wacko Jacko Gaming, that's a mouthful. I'm just going to ask you ask you the same questions. Your first console and game.
Oh, well, my first console, bought in 1997, 98. Yeah, 97 would have to be. Yeah, my first console was the Super Nintendo.
SNES.
The old snazzy boy. Now, that was the best. Considering that time, there was so many, I guess, not any news about any gaming to me. It was sort of random. I wasn't really into gaming. And my mum and dad, there we go, represent. My mum and dad bought me one for my birthday, I think. And the first game that came with it was the very first Super Mario Kart. And I absolutely loved that game to bits.
You didn't get Super Mario World with yours?
No, I actually bought that after. So I had a few different random games with the Super Nintendo. I had Mario Kart, I had the Super Mario World, as well as the one with the collections of it. An all-time classic was... Yes, that one. And all-time classic, international cricket. Now, if you haven't seen that game...
That wasn't
Oh,
Steve
boy.
Wasn't Steve Waugh.
No, that wasn't Steve Waugh 1. It wasn't Steve Waugh 1. It was international cricket.
Yellow
something.
cover.
Yeah, it was a classic.
It was a yellow cover, am I right?
Yeah, possibly, yes. Possibly,
it's
yes.
going back. I think I was working at the Gamesman when that was a thing.
Yes, yeah. So that was my first gaming console, and yeah, Mario Kart was the first game.
All right, that's not a bad entry. So the second question, fav game. This is going to be a tough one for you.
Oh, okay. It's either the game that I'm wearing on my shirt, which is Super Smash Bros.
Do you say Bros?
Or
that does my head in.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't see it saying brothers now, do you? It's
not Super Mario Bros. It's Super Mario Brothers.
It's bros. It's bros. It's
Short
bros.
for brothers.
Bros. I know, but still, I guess.
When you say etc., you don't.
Okay. To be politically correct, it is Super Smash Brothers. And yeah, no, that's fine. And it's very hard to say that is my exact favorite game because my second favorite, only so close to being the first, is the Just Cause series games. Just Cause 3, the latest one. Oh, you haven't seen it. It's full of explosions and shooting things and explosions and explosions. Yeah, it's up there.
I have to give it a chance, I think.
No, well, it's open roaming and, you know, you're unlimited to do whatever you can. It's good.
And currently playing.
Oh, what aren't I playing? I guess the last game I played was Rocket League.
For a change.
Yeah, for a change. Something new, eh, Jacko? Yeah, no. No, so I've been playing that and probably Nintendo Switch with Splatoon 2. So that's probably my most recent game.
When I was in Japan visiting my nephew, he couldn't get dragged away from that. And being that it's an online live game, you can't exactly pause it. We all know that. I couldn't explain that.
Try to explain it.
Yeah, I couldn't explain that to my wife and his mum, so I basically just had to shut the door on him and keep him out of conversations, which was doing him a favour.
Fair
all right, so that's my initiation-free questions out of the way for both.
All the big questions gone. Thank you.
And I won't ever have to answer them again myself. Yay! So, the question I've got, and I will touch on this myself. Why did you become a YouTuber? And for me, I have a big enough reason, I think, that I should have done it a lot earlier, and that is that I used to write for a gaming magazine, not only distributed across Australia, but it was also across New Zealand as well.
Awesome.
And I was this close to actually getting onto a video game TV show, which never eventuated. And that was weird being interviewed for that. And then in 2006, GameSpot offered online an opportunity to upload videos, your own videos. And I thought, how am I going to do this? Because, you know, the technology was crap. The internet was bad. The camera
still is bad
to a degree. Camera that I had was cassette. So it had an option to be able to record digitally for only up to 10 minutes at a time. Wow. So I uploaded what did I do? I did 2 videos, my top 5 favorite games of all time, which was really rough. But that was my first ever on-camera appearance for a video game video. And also I did a bit of a rant because Xbox 360 was advertised as being backward compatible, but not all the games were working. So that's to give you a bit of a date as to what was being discussed back then. Those videos have been lost, unfortunately. So I decided to get it out of the way. No more excuses. Just get a channel going, even if it means that the videos are rubbish. I just wanted them up there. And I think I've discussed on that earlier before in one of my videos. So what was your main reason for wanting to get on YouTube?
Okay, this is going to be the most stupidest question. Answer, sorry. Okay, so
just YouTube
from YouTube for me was sort of way a complete accident in a way, but I was
You just fell
playing Just Cause 3 one day. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you why. I was playing Just Cause 3, my favourite game, as I mentioned before. And I noticed there was a green circle on the bottom of my computer screen. And I'm like, what's that doing? So I was keeping pressing buttons on my keyboard and it would disappear and reappear. Anyway, I closed the game down. I was going through my files and I found some clips of the game. I'm like, wait a minute. I can record stuff? So I thought, hold on. Maybe I can do something here. So I got a little web camera, a basic micro, and started up. And I was putting together videos in classic old Windows Movie Maker. I thought, hey, I could keep going on with this. Yeah, Windows Movie Maker, yeah. So my first ever video was a Just Cause 3 video, and yeah, it was full of sound effects. Yeah, I killed sound effects in that video, unfortunately.
I think I watched that video, actually.
You probably did. Yeah, it's pretty...
You did a whole heap of
far from where I've come.
Cartoony running on the spot sounds.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It was alright for a first effort.
So, yeah, considering that was my first little test, I thought, okay, maybe I can explore a bit here. And at the time, I had a Nintendo Wii U, and you can get capture cards for Wii U's and other consoles. So I experimented with that, and sure enough, I was like, oh, this is getting good. Obviously with Windows Movie Maker, you couldn't really do your fancy editing with webcams and everything, so it was still just screen, but eventually I decided to get Vegas Pro, and I thought, well, I can probably turn this more into a hobby and just something a bit more creative and fun. And the ambition was to hopefully share with the world and make everyone put a smile on their face.
It's daunting when you first get that Sony Vegas program, isn't it? And you load it up and you're like, what's all these buttons mean? I don't know what.
And yeah, I guess the daunting part was the price tag.
Yeah, there's that too. But once you then get in, it's then like, okay, now that I got this beast, what do I do with it? But I managed to wing it. I've never had any sort of lessons. I've just sort of winged everything that I've done so far on the channel. One thing I forgot to mention with doing those 2006 videos, I was trying to work out how am I going to do this? In what style am I going to present myself on the camera? Do you know? And you're going to laugh. My main inspiration on how to be a YouTube presenter. This is before YouTube was a thing. Molly Meldrum.
Oh, classic Molly Meldrum.
Molly Meldrum.
He's
be positive, right? Don't try and bag out things overly much. He did have some bag out sessions, but he would show the game, or in his case, the album, and then fling it to the side and get on with the next one. And I thought that's a really, I could use that in gaming and transfer that over to a video game video. So that was my main inspiration on getting started. Yes, Molly, good old Molly. I've actually seen him in real life at an airport. Yeah. Overseas peoples are going to be like, who the hell are you talking about? I'll put a picture.
You sounded like him.
Do yourself a favour. I'll put a picture of him, and I won't expect you to get the relevance, but he's been on Australian TV for many years. He at one time was the go-to person for music celebrities such as Elton John, Sylvester Stallone. He's not music, but he's celebrity. They would come to Australia and want to seek him out to do interviews. It was just Madonna, Michael Jackson. He was huge, really.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still going. He's just hanging on, I think.
Poor old Molly. So I have a question for you.
Oh,
do you think there is a future for consoles, considering that every console that comes out so far, besides the Switch, that might lean to your answer, I guess, somewhat. But with every console that comes out, seems to be a dumbed-down PC, somewhat. There are advantages to owning a console as opposed to PC. There are the advantages to PC as opposed to console. Discuss.
Yes. Okay, well, my short answer would be... there's almost an advantage into the consoles. I think the reason being is because, yes, PCs will always be up to the same speed as consoles, because with the way you can get hardware into your computer. I think the key thing is for consoles, like such as PlayStation, for example, they have exclusives. So, for example, like a game like Gran Turismo, that's only you can play on PS4, from my understanding. You can't get that on Xbox, you can't get it on PC. So that itself is one advantage I can think of for console gaming. Same with the Switches, as you were sort of saying. Yeah, you get basically all your Nintendo games on the Switch. You can't get them on PS4, PC, and all that. In long term, I think there always will be console versus PC. Consoles will always want to be, I guess, seen as a thing of entertainment. Because computers, you can be used for anything now these days. You can use computers for gaming, working from home, business operating, whatever.
And with Samsung Galaxy Note 8 coming out, their main pitch for that new phone is that it's faster than most desktops, is what they're pushing.
Yes, which is scary.
And that's in your pocket, ready to explode. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, Apple's.
I'm actually really keen on the Note 8. That's hopefully going to be my next phone. But I only pointed that out just to give you an idea of how weird things are compared to what we're used to. The laptop that I've got here is an Omen, HP Omen 17-inch. It's not 4K, but I wasn't really pushing for that. It's a huge beast of a laptop for gaming. I've seen other channels really give it high ratings and that. And I was playing Skyrim while in China, just on my laptop with a Xbox One controller, and it's all packed in a really easy to carry case. I guess the only way you could beat that perhaps is Switch. when that.
Yes, which I just love it so much. It was such a long time for the Switch to be fully released, and because it was known as the Nintendo NX, which everyone was like, "Oh, this is interesting. What's it going to be? Next generation console? What's it going to have?" The Switch for me, I've taken it on plane flights, I've taken it on train rides, I've taken it to the city centre, and
taken it to the cricket.
Which is good. Taking it to the cricket, yeah, mate. Because Test cricket, all you do is nice shot, back on the game. It's interesting with the Switch, because I always thought, wait, if you're going to have a portable gaming, wouldn't it kill off the Nintendo DS? Because basically it's the same thing, more power. But the idea, the DS, they're still going to have exclusives for the DS, which makes sense, I guess.
I don't think that makes sense. I think that they honestly should put the bullet into the 3DS as quickly as possible, so that they can just put all their eggs into the one basket, being the... for example, I can't find a Switch outside of I can get one in Australia, but I'm not willing to pay the price that they're wanting. It's
top dollar,
$470 here. In Japan, it was $299, equivalent of around about $300, or for pre-40. That's a pretty significant difference.
That is huge,
But
so
find one. One thing having an advertised price, but what's the point if
needle in the haystack sort of thing? That's incredible.
For me personally, I think that consoles, they have a purpose in that you can just fire it up and play any game you want. Where we're getting dangerously close, though, to the consoles being not worthwhile having is... okay, we'll go right back. This is Sonic 3. I have...
Oh, you have two.
Well, I only got the case.
Okay, why not?
I only got the case.
Oh, okay.
So I purchased that. I don't need to download anything else. Once I buy that, it's collectible. No. It's mine. It won't work on my Mega Drive, though. Even with a converter, I have to work on that.
Yes.
But what I'm getting at is that games now, there was one or two games released just recently. That's right. Tony Hawk's PlayStation. Was it Tony Hawk's
Pro Skater?
Pro Skater, whatever they're up to now. The last, the shite one, the really crud one.
Oh, 5. Sorry, that is number 5.
And the game itself isn't actually really on the disc. It's just a key, and you plug that in, and then it tells the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Rubik's Cube, whatever it is you're running. It tells it that this is a game, you may proceed ahead. So all you're buying is an unlock key, and then you have to download I don't know, 20 gigs worth of data,
Wow.
In some cases, more, just to play this stupid thing. And
I know. It's
so
terrible. The thing with me, because I had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on PS2, and I loved that to bits. And 4 was okay, but looking at 5, it's an absolute shambles.
It's an abysmal.
So just
effort,
quickly,
yeah.
don't buy the game,
no,
please.
no, this is not an endorsement. We're just using it as an example.
Example. Yeah, yeah. So just don't. And another thing I was going to say about consoles, especially recently, the Xbox One X. Is that what they're calling it? It's basically just an Xbox 360 just boosted up a bit more. It's no different. The problem with consoles now, they're almost running out of ideas, especially both the Xbox and PlayStation. They're just taking the console and just boosting up by a little bit, maybe slapping a different name on it.
The
price
Xbox
tags
One
a bit
X
higher.
is a significant jump in processing
Is it?
power.
Okay.
It is. But,
Okay, right.
I mean, more so than the PlayStation 4 Pro was.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's maybe more what I was trying to say, because it's not much different.
But
maybe, because backwards compatibility is there, isn't it?
in what regards?
I don't know. So, like, they used to, I think, was it the PS4 could play PS3
No, they
games
can't.
now? I can't remember.
Oh, okay. So let's clarify.
Maybe.
You're not a PlayStation boy at all. You don't.
Used to be, but yeah. I went when the Wii came. I was like, I'm going back to Nintendo.
Wii was the one that dragged you away.
Yeah. Golf, tennis.
The only thing that let me down with the Wii was the fact that it was not HD. If it was HD, it would have sold a gazillion times more, I think. Or it could be an argument to say that they would have sold less because it would have been more pricey. We digress.
Yes.
But we don't really, because that's kind of part of what we're talking about here. The price of consoles.
Yeah, well, that's true.
The entry point to get into a console is always going to be cheaper if the console manufacturers do the right thing. They're not touting the Xbox One X as being the go-to system. They're still sticking with the S as being their main one that they push to the average gamer. But if you want something more with a few bells and whistles, then the X is the one for you. Or in the PlayStation case, the PlayStation 4 Pro one, which I've got. Just saying. I don't see the need, though, for me to go from my day one Xbox to getting a Xbox One X.
The latest.
It runs the games. I stick it in and it plays just the same. I don't have a 4K TV, so that is another factor in all this. But, we're talking 4K. We're talking, cutting edge.
Ultra HD.
And all this. And meanwhile, here's the Switch. 720 on the go. Who cares?
Yeah. And it's good. It's
and
fun.
People
it's easy to play.
Like I've seen many gamers on podcasts from bigger channels. These are guys that see a ton of games, and they are saying that they don't care about the high-end graphics. They don't care about the fact that it's got all the. I mean, you saw many memes from the Xbox One X announcement, and people were just bored watching Xbox go over all the stats of this new system. And yes, they are. They're quite impressive, but who cares if you can't make
the games aren't good.
The games come onto it. Yeah. So I'm not dissing Microsoft or Xbox or PlayStation or any of them. I'm just saying that maybe they should look at, I don't know, what was the purpose of the system? Was it meant for fun? Maybe bring fun back to gaming is.
Yes, well, that's what Nintendo's done with the Switch, and the thing I was going to say, the PS4 also allows you VR. I don't think Xbox do it.
They're doing HoloGens.
Yeah.
HoloLens, sorry.
Okay.
HoloGens, wasn't it? 80s. That was an 80s.
Yes. Fair enough.
Yeah, so, all right. No, it's interesting to see which direction that gaming's going in general.
Yeah.
Next topic I've got on my little list here of things to discuss is Japan. I've got to insert Street Fighter 2 Japan sample now. So
go Ken.
First off, have you been? Because I just got back my number 8 visit.
No, but I know some people that have been, and they say it's the best thing ever. Mr. A, as you probably know of, he's been there probably the last 6 months. He went during
he did
December.
Too, yes. I remember keeping up with his photos, yes.
And I remember seeing all the arcades and all the gaming places they were going to, and I'm like, wow, this is heaven almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
I discussed that in my last video, actually.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a Sega fanboy, as we all know.
Yes, it is well known. Yes, well known.
And so you would think that a Sega fan going to Japan would be, I don't know, I guess someone going on a bit of a pilgrimage trip. But
Yes.
I stepped into a Club Sega. Sega.
Sega.
I stepped into it's basically an arcade set up there, which is meant to be just Sega. And I was so disappointed. It was not pushing the Sega brand, not pushing the Sega IP. You would say that, well, isn't that a good thing that they're embracing gaming in general? Well, yes and no. Wouldn't you want to push, like, if that was a Nintendo arcade, you can bet, right?
Every game's
It would be Nintendo from wall to wall. Now, sure enough, yes, I did see the rubbish bin had recyclable for Tails, and the rubbish was Sonic. Okay, that's cool. And yes, there was a basketball machine with Sonic holding a basketball on the sticker. And okay, that's cool.
Wow.
Basically, it's just a regular basketball machine with Sonic the Hedgehog slapped on the side. So, what I'm getting at is that the gaming scene there is kind of weird. The Taito gaming stations, I think they call it, game stations, they're just the same as the Sega ones. There's no real sort of...
Oh, okay.
There's nothing to distinguish it from one from the other. And then you got Namco, which they're doing their thing, and Capcom, they all have their own arcade setup. So
Tom Crosses.
I think what I'm getting at is that Japan have kind of lost the plot, Sega in particular, in that they have forgotten what made Japan
gaming good.
Japanese gaming special. Now, rewind the clock back. 1990 or 1991. We're going way back.
Yeah.
They had something which was cool by even today's standards. They had a whole racetrack set up with these miniature remote control cars on the track with cameras on board each of the cars.
Oh, awesome.
Off the track, you had outrun style cockpits, which you got into. You sat down and there was a steering wheel,
sick.
And the TV screen showed your car and what you were seeing.
Oh, awesome.
Fast forward to 2017. Where is it? Well, I will pay money to play that. Where is it?
I would too. That sounds awesome.
It's gone. And
yeah,
this is what I'm getting at. The things that used to make Sega special. I don't know if you're probably too young to get to the chance to see Sega World.
Thanks, I'm young.
Yeah,
yeah.
You didn't get to see Sega World in Sydney. So,
fun fact: I've never been to Sydney, so I've only been to the airport. Yeah, fun fact.
I was going to joke and say you're not missing much, but no, you are missing it.
You haven't been to Melbourne
So
lately.
I got the chance to go into Sega World before launch. I managed to track down a ticket, and funnily enough, half the people working in there were ex-Sega staff for the hotline. That was funny. And
Cool.
One of the rides they had is a bumper car, right?
Oh yeah, classic old bumper
No
car.
wall with a twist. And this is what they're missing, is the twist. They don't do anything unique anymore. They had balls on the ground that you had to run over. Okay, and the more ball you had to reload your supply of balls, and you'd see how many you had in your ammunition. And at the top of your bumper car, you had a gun, and you'd have to then aim it at the other bumper cars and shoot them. And of course, the catch is that it was like a risk reward thing. You'd see some ammunition floating around on the field, but to get to it, you're risking getting shot by everyone else that was going for it as well. Where is the fun? They don't go into VR, which is, I know it's kind of cool and that, but I miss that they're not using the imagination enough anymore.
Well, yeah. It's the same worldwide though, with any industry. Like music is the same. It's all the same, just different lyrics and types of music. It's exact same. The world almost to a point has lost its creativity. If you sort of know what I'm saying here.
Yeah, they're relying on technology too much.
Yeah, improving it better. Like some games, I mean, to a degree, some are repetitive. Halo has done well to keep each game a little different. I remember playing the first Halo, and that was gold. And Halo 3, I agree, it's one of the good games.
Not a fan of 5. Just putting it out there.
No, 5's a bit advanced.
No, I think they were concentrating too much on making it all eSport and forgetting the fact that not everyone wants to be an eSport professional gamer.
Yeah, correct. And it's funny too, because I even think about now that games like Age of Empires 2, which were back on the Windows 98 or whatever it was, is still popular today because of the HD remake. And it's just I don't know how it works, but it's just the simple games that make fun. There's games out there that are too advanced, too serious. A game like series like Splatoon 2, like they've actually tried to make it a bit more competitive for the esports landscape. It's just the small things that just make it more fun. You don't have to. The game developers are going too hard to try and make it the best, the greatest at everything that it can be, and yet there's the Sonic games where there's always those glitches and there's always something happening that just shouldn't be right. And yeah, I'm sure you know more about
Some
that.
people like glitches in games.
Yeah,
anyone that's played a Skyrim or Fallout game will say that kind of add to it. Opening a door and having a cow fly towards you for no apparent reason is an experience you'll never forget.
They've gone away from making things fun. I think it's becoming too competitive, too serious. Not much emphasis on the
getting
fun.
back to what I was discussing there with Japan, I think Japan were not afraid to do the wacky things, do the things that don't necessarily make sense on paper, and the fact now that the West has caught up and significantly not just caught up but overtaken, I think, in gaming circle wise. It's kind of sad that we're losing that imagination with gaming. Like go back to Sega Fantasy Zone, the shoot 'em up. It was the first cute 'em up. Who in their right mind would come up with a cute 'em up today? No one would. They'd be like, nah. Today's market don't like shooting cats with rocket launchers.
I think there's an element of fear for gaming developers out there to try be brave and do something different.
Wacky.
Splatoon.
Wacky.
Yeah, wacky. Wacky.
Who cares if it doesn't make sense? Just do it.
Yeah. I mean, Splatoon was like everyone's, what do you want to shoot ink for? And be squid kids or running around shooting ink. It's done really well and popular in Japan. It's sold an amazing amount of copies in the
funny
first month.
Explaining that to my wife. Now, she's not a gamer. I'm married to a non-gamer. Work that out.
Same.
And
raise your hand if you're not married to a non-gamer.
So they were watching my nephew play Splatoon, and I was trying to explain not the fact that it's a successful game, but why it's a successful game. Shoot 'em ups, like 3D first-person shooters, are fun. There's nothing more fun and satisfying than lining up a headshot and getting it done right. But when little Johnny asks his mum, "Can I buy Call of Duty?" in the back of mum's mind or dad's mind is that that's a violent game. I don't want my kid.
It's graphic and everything else. Yeah.
Nintendo or people within Nintendo have seen and taken that element and put it into a format that's good for kids. Have you done paintballing ever?
Yes, it hurts.
Bloody painful. I got one right in the throat.
Oh, I got one in the mouth.
Oh, what?
I was wearing a mask and it shot me in the mouth, and the stuff went straight through, and I swallowed some of it. It was
That sound,
don't eat it.
That sound. Oh yes, it's disgusting stuff. But that sound of the paintball guns going off, you're scared, and you hear it whistling past your ears.
I know. It's painful.
So just on Japan, the fun is still there, but I do see it waning. I don't see that they are keeping the magic alive quite like they had in the early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah.
I would like to see someone from, say, for example, with Sega, because Sega are the ones that are the biggest offenders here. Someone from Sega of Europe to fly over to Sega of Japan and just knock on the door and shake them, grab them by the throat and shake them. For example, the guy that runs the official Sega Twitter account is posting up pictures of his dinner. Like, I'm not making this stuff
Classic.
up. You can look it up.
No, I believe you.
Look what I'm having
that's
tonight,
great.
Mumsen. Like, who cares? Like, I want to know, when is the next Golden Axe game coming out? Finally, when is Jet Set Radio coming out? All these great IPs that they're just sitting on. They're sitting on mountains of gold, and they're doing absolutely nothing with it.
It's weird because you see all the games that are getting HD remakes and how well they're being sold. Like Crash Bandicoot, that was an all-time legend, and the HD remakes being well sold. I don't see why they're holding back so much, and there should be...
It's an interesting fact here. Golden Axe. Yes. Golden Axe was going to get a HD remix by Sega of Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was almost completed, and there is a beta running around out there somewhere which you can actually play. And they just dumped it. They just walked away from it mid development. And it's just mind-boggling. Streets of Rage. That's like Streets of Rage 2 is one of the most people's favorite beat 'em ups. You know, walking left or right, beating up anyone that comes your way. That game was epic for the time. Yeah. I've got a lot of stories about that one, which I'll do later.
Fair enough.
But where's the Streets of Rage 4? There was supposed to be a Streets of Rage 4, which got abandoned during the Saturn era. I think the time is right for a lot of these games to get not just a HD remake, but a new HD update, a new chapter. And let's see what Axel Blade is up to, and what was his name, Max, and
what are they eating for lunch? What are they eating
how's it been? How are you keeping yourself fit these days? Julius Thunderhead, are you still mad at losing your brother, Alex? I think his name was.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, anyway, so what videos you got coming up on your channel?
What videos? Oh, well, I've got. I'm glad I got a sister who games as well, because she is hilarious. I've got an Overwatch series of videos coming with her.
Okay.
It's funny because
a game that I still haven't got into myself.
Overwatch it's unique. It's a bit like how Splatoon was. Like, it's very unique, the way of the heroes and what their special abilities are. So my sister, it's so funny looking at her being a teenager now and almost an adult scaringly. But her comedy, like, she doesn't try to be funny, but damn heck, she's funny as. So that's coming up as well. And I'm doing some Lego Worlds because I had Lego when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved and adored the idea of Lego Worlds. Being creative. Don't you dare bring out Lego Dimensions. He did.
Well, the reason why I bring it out is that so many people don't even know that this thing exists.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's been absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, the marketing didn't last long for it though. Like, it came, I think it was a month prior they'd started advertising it. And
I saw one Twitter push to show the launch.
Yep.
And nothing since. Yep. And you've got the A-Team, you've got E.T., Simpsons. Is it the Harry Potter series? I've got
everything. Batman,
I've got Lego Dimensions, Midway Arcade. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but it's there it is. Defender. You can run and operate your own arcade.
Lego. That's cool. Yeah, Lego's really good like that. They really get out there and just, I don't know, they're very different, very creative, and they rely on people using their imagination to come up with cool things, and they do a really good job at it.
They kind of missed the mark though, you have to agree, that they should have been Minecraft.
Yes, well, that's the thing.
That
Lego
was kind of like
Sony
missing the ballpark with Walkman was huge, right? And then a little company called Apple came along and said, we can do that and make it better. And then
Funny fact also, because I don't know if you probably don't know this game, Lego Loco.
No, I don't. No.
There was an old Windows game, and basically that was almost like a Sim City of the old age. You get to run trains, you got to build cities and towns.
I do remember seeing some screenshots for that. Yeah.
Now that was classic. I had that, and that was good fun. That was and Lego Races was good fun as well. But Lego Worlds, it's been a while. They should have had it out early, but
and it's funny that Time Travelers, is that the name of the company? Traveller's Tales. Traveller's Tales.
Yeah. Yes, that's the one.
They started out making Pugsy.
Really?
You can look it up. There's a
Really?
Pugsy and Liz and Wiz, I think it was another one that they did. But Pugsy on the Sega Mega Drive, which was originally on the Amiga, and it was an okay game, but you wouldn't think that the company that came from those origins would later go on to become an absolute behemoth of a developing company.
That's crazy. That's nuts. And also, Lego City Undercover, that's almost GTA, but
I love that game.
Restrictions.
No, I love it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Oh, you have not seen it running on a non-Nintendo system?
No, I have not. I've only seen it on the Wii U.
Because I've got the Wii U version, and you go in the major tunnel underneath the bay, and halfway through, there's the... What are those fish called again in the Mario universe?
Yeah, it's in my head, but I can't remember.
Anyway, you see a stack of them in an aquarium. Yep. A nice little nod to the Mario universe. There's a couple of other things that you see within the game. I was kind of curious as to how did they swap them out, being that they're on, Microsoft and PlayStation and all that.
Yeah, no, it's very good. It's I did enjoy that game. Let's just try to get the 100%.
Any other videos you got?
100% was just. Nothing really. Nothing much else to think of. I'll just do an occasional Rocket League. Oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm planning on doing that. There's a little story behind that. I'll tell you more about that when the video comes out, maybe.
And for me, I've got quite a few things that I've got to edit. It's just a matter of getting the footage and putting it together and out there. I look into the collection of a Japanese gamer that was difficult to film because he was so super shy, so I to get a video out of that. Just got to put that together soon. Also, a look at the Pokemon Center in Osaka.
Oh, nice!
It's just a brief tour, a real quick run through with the camera. Also video a little while back, Super Potato Store in Akihabara. I stumbled, literally almost fell over it. The sister branch in Osaka. So there's going to be it's a smaller shop, but it's no less impressive. I did a tour of the retro level for the Super Potato Store in Osaka, so that's coming up. But the big one for my channel is I'm going to be doing a Game of the Year series for every year of my life, starting 1974. Wow. Did they even have games back? Yeah, it's...
Was that when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth?
It was that one with the ball and the stick.
Pogo.
That's going to be a challenge. Finding footage, putting together that video is going to be the hardest one, I think, out of all of them. But so 1974, 5, right through to 2017. That's going to take a while.
I must ask you a question. What's that plushie doing behind your back?
Oh, that is not kitten, Litten. That's right.
Litten,
in the Osaka Pokemon Center. I didn't buy this.
Nice.
My wife was
really?
in love with this character for some odd reason. So
much for being a non-gaming wife.
I don't even know if you can buy this in Australia yet or not.
They're probably hard to find.
And I got myself not Pikachu, because I've already got a Pikachu. No. Mimikyu.
Oh, Mimikyu, yep. Yeah, that's a weird Pokemon. That is a weird one.
Which is really cool. Plus, I also got the 20th anniversary book magazine, which I got. Wow, that was like $30. I really better look at that.
Check your balance account.
Last off, this was a huge find. Unopened.
Wow.
GameCube with 2 controllers, Game Boy Advance player, a memory card, never ever been plugged in. Now, I have to be very careful with this bad boy because in Australia we have 240 volts
Yes. 115?
No, 110. So 110 for the
110,
Japanese
okay.
system, and it doesn't step down or
Adapter.
up. It just runs at 110. Lucky, I've got a GameCube already
Adapter.
sitting over there. I just have to unplug
Yes.
and put this one in. But I still got to get myself a freeloader to allow me to play overseas games. So
Yes.
I don't have to have two GameCubes sitting side by side.
Man, that is amazing. That is an amazing
And
find.
I picked up a stack of games because I only had 5 GameCube games.
Oh, really? What ones were they?
One of them was one of those Need for Speed was one of them, which bleh.
Yep.
Then there was also I'm trying to.
Pick a card. Pick a card. Any
I haven't
card.
got any of those. Okay, Hit and Run, Worm 3D, and Cell Damage. Good games. Good games.
This one was so much fun on the PlayStation.
Well,
I played
when I
this to
figured
death.
Cell Damage, I thought that was a Dreamcast game originally.
No. Actually, no, it was.
Yeah.
But they released it on the GameCube after it, and then the PS2 followed.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't know that myself until I searched it, and I'm like, what?
So I've
But,
also
yeah.
got Animal Crossing
Classic game.
on the GameCube.
Yes.
These are the Australian ones I've got. And Wind Waker.
Yes. Just quickly, these two as well were both on PS2, and obviously I think this one was on Xbox as well.
It was
Not
during
sure
that
if it was
era
once.
where they were just releasing everything on anything. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so there was no real, games that were like sticking out obvious compared to the other. And I forgot this one. How could I forget this one? Do you have this one? You better
I
have
certainly
this
do.
one. Good. I've got it. Yeah.
I felt
So
really
pretty.
bad deleting the poor guy's file when I bought it.
Oh, really?
But I thought, no, I got to start from scratch. So,
How much are these things worth still? You probably.
well, they're just super hard to find. Never mind what
Yeah.
they're worth. And getting,
I got lucky with this. The friend because I bought the Wii off a friend at school, and he happened to have this and those
Oh,
other
wow.
games with it. And when I saw this, I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're selling to me.
but
And I got it like,
I just don't see GameCube games in Australia,
no. They're hard. They're rare as.
which is why I'm so glad that I got all these from Japan, which I will go into in more detail on the video I got coming up. Oh, I better put them down before I stack them, including Sunshine Mario. I never played it.
Oh,
Never
what?
played it. Never
Me
played
neither.
it. So it's the only Mario game I've never touched.
Do you have F-Zero?
On Super Nintendo, I do.
GameCube. Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But not
Yeah.
the GameCube version. Made by Sega.
Admiring my nice thing here, my old school lockers.
That unique.
This
Is
what I
that
have-
is that
this-
your
this is
the
what-
thing that you took from school as a souvenir before?
No, not plushies.
Oh, Yoshi!
I've got plushies.
Don't get me started on the Sonic plushies.
Well, that's fine. I've got a few. Just give me a moment. That's not Sonic. Yoshi. Yoshi, if you had to ask me the question, who is your favorite video game character? Hands
Okay.
down.
What's his
Easily
formal
Yoshi.
name?
I'm sorry, I don't know his name.
Yoshidosaurus or some damn thing. It was revealed
Yeah,
just
I
a
don't know.
while
It's-
back. One of those
Yeah.
obscure little facts that got neglected by Nintendo over the years.
Yeah, Yoshi. I don't know what caught onto Yoshi for me. I think in the very first Super Smash Bros. Game on 64, I chose him and use him in the game so much than others. But I don't know. I think it's just because I'm just falling for his cuteness, like probably other gamers would be.
Well, apparently in Sunshine, they keep the thing where when you step onto Yoshi, they get the drum beats going and the music changes. So
Cool.
I'm looking forward to playing that. I've seen some video footage of Sunshine, and I think the fact that Yoshi's there is a nice little cool touch to that game.
I've got one more thing to show you. It's a bit miscellaneous, but it's somewhat gaming relative. Alright, I would have put this on, but actually no, I'll put it on.
Oh, here we go.
If you liked wrestling games like WWE 2K15, you would have seen this mask.
I don't know what we're going to see.
I am Sin Cara.
I thought you were a Power Ranger there for a second. I wasn't sure.
I'm the Blue Power Ranger.
Okay.
No. Oh my gosh.
Do you catch the bus with that on, or?
No, I don't do too much. I wear it to fancy dress parties, which is I've only been to one. Yeah. WWE is such a great game series for me.
And that came with it
because the custom. No, I actually bought this online. but yeah, because the WWE 2007 WWE 2007 Raw versus Super Slam, and that game was so much fun because we had Rey Mysterio and a few of the other luchadors, whatever, and the customization in that game was so much fun. And the commentary, I could just laugh.
The thing with wrestling games is that they're focusing now on replicating, all the current stars,
and all that,
and then moving away from. Well, why can't we just make this game fun instead of worrying about if we got the mole exactly right on his face and all that?
Well, that's another thing with modern day gaming. There's a lot of customization happening. Like, for example, FIFA and NBA have just recently made a new story mode.
Setting up my character in Skyrim, that took ages.
Yeah, the one question that always gets you: what should you name your character? And
I used to have a set name for that, but I moved away from that now. And now that I'm doing online videos, I don't know how to work Since Spacies into a name character. I'll work it out.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, glad to have you on for the initial another bloody gaming podcast. Please like and subscribe Wacko Jacko Gaming's channel. You'll see his link below in my channel and vice versa. I hope if he's done the right thing on his end.
I will. I promise.
And also, I will be expecting, hopefully, to do these on a once-a-month basis. Nothing too serious or in-depth, just basically a bunch of YouTubers getting together and chatting stuff. I was hoping to get a couple of other guys on this one, but they were just unavailable. Oh, and before we go, what are you doing for Daddy tomorrow, Daddy's Day?
Well, for me, it's actually Father-in-Law's Day, so...
Wow, I stepped into that one.
So my dad's still over in interstate back in South Australia, and obviously I'm in Victoria, so we live 8 k's from the 8 minutes from the in-laws, so we'll go have the day.
I am about 5 hours drive from mine, so I think that would just be a Skype call.
Yeah, good idea. I'll just have a phone call with my old man and send him best regards and all that.
All right. Well, once again, my name has been Brian. I've been gaming Since Spacies, and Wacko, you don't have it.
Thank you.
Do you have an outro?
What? Sorry. No, not really. I have an ending clip where I'll go silent, and then there's background music, and then there's little pictures here and there.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. No, I'll do one. I'll just do a quicker one. So yeah, thank you much, guys, for watching Wacko Jacko's first ever podcast with Since Spacies. Brian is an absolute legend. Good to talk to you. Good to talk to you, making me feel young again. Sorry, that was harsh. That was very harsh. That was harsh.
Compliment
harsh.
and then set him up and then whack him out of the ballpark.
Whack him out of the park.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, and until then, thank you.
Cheerio.